Working at Google, Facebook, or Amazon once meant financial security and prestige. Free gourmet meals, luxury office perks, and unlimited paid time off made these jobs the ultimate career goal. But that dream? It's over. Tech companies are slashing jobs at a record pace. Google, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft have laid off more than 75,000 workers this year alone. The same industry that once built millionaires overnight is now one of the most unstable job markets in the economy. So, what happened? Why did tech go from being the golden ticket to the worst job market in America? Let's break it down. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Economy Explorer so you don't miss more deep dives into today's economic realities. The golden age of tech. Why it was a dream job. For the past 2 decades, working in tech meant security, status, and money. Software engineers at Google, Netflix, and Meta were earning 6-figure salaries fresh out of college, while stock options turned employees into instant millionaires as tech stocks surged. The perks were just as extravagant. Gym memberships, free housing stipends, and $200,000 bonuses were common, with some companies even covering gender-affirming surgeries and egg freezing. Companies offered lavish office spaces with free gourmet meals, on-site massage therapists, and even nap pods. Working in tech wasn't just a career choice, it was a lifestyle. It was the fastest way to build wealth, and for many, it felt like a guaranteed path to financial freedom. And it was all fueled by cheap money. After the 2008 financial crisis, the Federal Reserve slashed interest rates to 0, making it easier than ever for venture capitalists and tech giants to borrow money for nearly nothing. The result? Startups exploded, and tech companies grew at an unprecedented rate. The NASDAQ surged by over 300% between 2010 and 2019, and big tech hired aggressively, with some companies doubling their workforce every few years. Venture capital poured into Silicon Valley, and investors were willing to take huge risks, betting on the next big innovation. Even companies that weren't profitable were burning through billions in funding, prioritizing rapid expansion over financial sustainability. The tech industry became a gold rush, where it seemed like anyone with the right skills could secure a high-paying job and cash in on the boom. But what happens when free money runs out? The collapse begins. Rising interest rates kill the tech boom. Then everything changed. The Federal Reserve hiked interest rates at the fastest pace in history, sending shockwaves through the economy. The era of cheap money that fueled Silicon Valley's explosive growth was over. Suddenly, money became expensive, and startups that once thrived on easy access to capital found themselves unable to secure funding. Venture capitalists, once eager to invest in the next big innovation, started pulling back. Companies that had spent years burning through cash with little concern for profitability were now scrambling to cut costs and prove they could survive in a high-interest rate environment. Tech giants, accustomed to limitless expansion and rapid hiring, went into panic mode as their operating expenses skyrocketed. Suddenly, investors weren't willing to tolerate unprofitable growth, and executives were under pressure to prioritize efficiency over expansion. The layoffs began, and the scale was massive. Between 2022 and 2024, over 500,000 tech workers lost their jobs worldwide, marking one of the biggest employment crises the industry has ever faced. Google slashed more than 12,000 jobs. Amazon let go of 27,000 employees, and Meta eliminated 21,000 positions. Even smaller tech firms weren't spared as venture capital funding dried up, forcing many startups to shut down or drastically reduce their workforce. What made things worse was the ripple effect across the broader economy. Tech jobs weren't just about coding and software development. They created entire ecosystems of employment. From marketing and sales teams to HR and operations, the entire structure of the industry relied on the assumption of endless growth. But as companies began slashing costs, projects were canceled, hiring freezes became the norm, and once promising career paths suddenly vanished. Cities like San Francisco and Seattle, which thrived on the tech boom, saw rising office vacancies, declining home values, and an exodus of workers who could no longer afford to live there. And it's not over. The layoffs continue, and the once certain promise of a high-paying, secure tech job has been shattered. Many professionals who were once in high demand are now struggling to find work. Entire departments that existed for innovation and experimentation have been shut down, and even those who still have jobs are facing new pressures, longer hours, fewer benefits, and an increasingly uncertain future. The new reality: why tech jobs are now a nightmare. Working in tech today isn't what it used to be. The once glamorous industry that promised stability, wealth, and opportunity has become unpredictable, unstable, and highly competitive. What was once considered a dream job is now riddled with uncertainty, with fewer positions available, declining salaries, and the constant fear of layoffs. The biggest threat looming over the industry? Artificial intelligence. AI is changing everything. OpenAI's ChatGPT and other AI-powered systems are now performing tasks that once required thousands of engineers. Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are rapidly integrating AI into their businesses, replacing customer service representatives, coders, and content creators with automated systems. While automation has always been part of the industry's evolution, the speed at which AI is disrupting the workforce is unprecedented. Experts predict that up to 300 million jobs worldwide could be replaced by automation in the coming years, and tech workers are among the first to feel its impact. In previous years, coding was considered a skill that guaranteed job security, but now AI can write code faster and more efficiently than many junior developers. Companies are taking advantage of this shift, cutting costs by replacing human workers with AI-driven solutions. At the same time, salaries are dropping. For years, tech jobs paid well above market rates, making the industry one of the most attractive career paths. But that's no longer the case. Companies are now outsourcing more work to countries like India, Brazil, and Eastern Europe, where labor is significantly cheaper. The result? Salaries in the U.S. are plummeting, and many professionals who once commanded six-figure incomes are now forced to accept lower-paying roles or leave the industry entirely. Once, a software engineer at a top company could expect generous stock options and rapid promotions. But today, those incentives are disappearing as companies tighten their budgets. Many professionals are realizing that the tech industry's salary premium is fading, making other industries like healthcare, cybersecurity, and government jobs more appealing. But it's not just the salaries. The perks that once made tech jobs so desirable are vanishing. No more free food, no more extravagant bonuses, and no more unlimited PTO. Google has shut down many of its famous in-office perks to cut costs, and Amazon has stopped offering new stock bonuses to employees. Even remote work, which became the norm during the pandemic, is being rolled back as companies force employees back into offices to justify expensive real estate investments. What was once an industry defined by flexibility and innovation is now prioritizing control and cost-cutting. And worst of all, if you lose your tech job, finding another one isn't easy. Over 30% of laid-off tech workers remain unemployed for more than 6 months, struggling to re-enter an industry that no longer has room for them. The hiring freezes and massive job cuts have created a backlog of unemployed professionals, all competing for fewer and fewer openings. Many are being forced to switch careers entirely, moving into different industries or taking lower-paying jobs just to stay afloat. The reality is clear. The golden age of tech jobs is over, and the industry is no longer the safe haven it once was. But this isn't just a tech problem. It's an economic disaster with ripple effects that could reshape the entire job market for years to come. With economic uncertainty rising, AI rapidly advancing, and companies prioritizing profitability over people, the tech industry has transformed from the most sought-after career path to one of the most unstable job markets in the country. The question now isn't whether tech will recover, it's whether the industry will ever return to what it once was. What this means for the economy. The big picture. The collapse of tech jobs is more than just an industry shift, it's a warning sign for the entire economy. The rapid decline of big tech hiring, once the backbone of high-paying jobs and economic growth, signals deeper financial instability. One of the biggest consequences is the collapse of venture capital funding. With high interest rates making borrowing more expensive, investors are no longer willing to pour billions into risky startups. As a result, startups are shutting down at the highest rate since 2001, marking the end of an era where nearly any tech idea could secure millions in funding. Without the easy flow of capital, innovation is slowing, and Silicon Valley's dominance is fading. Meanwhile, the stock market is undergoing a major transformation. NASDAQ, which once dominated the market with record-setting growth, is now being outperformed by energy stocks, traditional manufacturing, and industrial sectors. The days of billion-dollar IPOs and tech giants commanding sky-high valuations with little to no profit are over. Investors are becoming more cautious, prioritizing financial stability over speculative growth. This shift signals a broader economic realignment, where industries that were once considered outdated are now thriving while tech struggles to regain its footing. The uncertainty in the tech sector is also reshaping the job market in unexpected ways. More professionals, especially younger workers, are turning to government jobs, which are now seen as more stable than tech. In just 2 years, applications for federal jobs have skyrocketed by 112%, showing a significant change in career priorities. Instead of chasing jobs at Google or Facebook, many graduates are now considering careers in finance, healthcare, and cybersecurity, fields that offer long-term security without the volatility of tech. The once certain path of entering the tech world for high salaries and lucrative stock options has become risky, forcing a new generation of workers to rethink their career choices. So, what comes next? Will the tech industry recover, or is the golden age of tech jobs gone forever? One thing is clear, the era of easy money is over. Tech jobs are no longer the safe bet they once were, and the broader economy is shifting faster than ever. The question isn't just about whether big tech will bounce back, but whether it will ever return to the limitless expansion and job security it once promised. What do you think? Drop a comment below, and let's discuss. And don't forget to subscribe to Economy Explorer for more deep dives into how the economy is evolving.